All right, thanks. Now at 5:30, connect to the Capitol live in studio with Governor Dan McKee, our monthly segment here on NBC 10, holding the elected leaders accountable and asking your questions. Governor, always good to see you. Thanks for making some time for us.
Well, thanks, Dan.
I want to try to get to a lot of different topics for our viewers here. One of the big questions is, a week ago, the AG halted the demolition of the bridge. When does the demolition continue?
Yeah, so I think that that'll be a question for the AG, but we know that they've indicated that they want to protect the evidence, right? Preserve the evidence. So we're working with them. DOT's working with the legal team to do that. We also are doing preparation work so that there is continuous work going on. It's just not impacting the areas where they want to protect the evidence.
Have you talked to the Attorney General? Are you cooperating and trying to help with his investigation?
Yeah, our offices and of course the attorneys that we brought on, right? Mac Wistow, John Savage. They're really running the operation in cooperation with the Attorney General. We think that was a thing to do, right? Because the Attorney General is in a spot where that office does follow through on these type of lawsuits.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I want to also have our director call up the live cameras that we show everybody on the afternoons. The last time you were here, this is the area right here where we hear a lot of viewers who say, "I've been stuck in this traffic every day, Dan. What can the governor, what can the DOT do about this?" Is there any plan to try to alleviate the 95 north backups you're seeing here?
Well, we're looking at all the options. We haven't really found anything that's going to do that. We know that the traffic patterns going west are about the same or a little bit better than they were prior to the bridge closing. We know that the traffic flow is a little more during the afternoon, as you just said, and in the mornings. We just came from East Providence over the bridge and headed over towards East Providence, and it was no problem.
Right, but what about, are you saying that there's nothing that can be done about this, or are you looking into ways, or?
Well, we're going to continue to look at ways that we can, make sure the traffic's flowing as quickly as it can. We have looked at a lot of variation models. In terms of how we might be able to do that. We haven't found it yet.
Right. I mean, because if you or I were stuck in this traffic every single day, we'd probably be almost as frustrated as you are with this whole bridge problem right here.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But we know we have a lot of balls in the air, Dan, on this issue. We just talked to legal. We are talking about small business grants. We're making sure the traffic flow is good. We're making sure we have enforcement there and tow trucks there, because we're down on the accidents. We know accidents can even make things compound the travel problem.
Yeah, it's a good idea to have those in place right there, which I know you have. I want to talk to you about the eastbound side. We first reported that internal DOT documents say that the eastbound bridge was becoming considerably sensitive. And I'm wondering where you are on that. You've been briefed. How do you feel about it based on what you've been told?
Yeah, so I think we feel very confident that the bridge is in the condition that can handle the traffic that's flowing.
For a long time?
Yes, and we also are doing the next inspection there to kind of monitor it is, I think, mid-October. Yeah. So we'll have regular the sensitivity there was just, again, a precautionary measure. We know that that's the only transportation area.
Right, so nothing structural that you're concerned about right now?
No, I'm concerned about many things about the bridge.
Not that.
That's not one of them.
Is the monitoring system in place now on the eastbound side, the bridge monitoring system that was a big issue a couple of weeks ago? Do you know?
I believe that it is, yes.
Okay, all right. I wanted to ask you about the bridge versus the bidding process. Where are we in the bidding process, and are you getting as many bids as you want?
So the bidding process is, we're ready to go out for the RFP. We may, I think that we're going to have certain announcements. I'm heading here to actually a call on that very issue with DOT in terms of what that timing is. So we're very close to kind of moving out. We're going to identify contractors that will be able to do the work that we need to do, and we're trying to get it done as quickly but as safely as we possibly can do.
Right. It's all about accountability. Our viewers are frustrated, and we know, I believe, that you inherited this bridge problem. Do you ever get to a point where you walk in and say, listen, let's just get it done for the taxpayers?
Well, we're doing that every day, and I'm doing that. I may not be volatile in front of the camera.
You can be.
But I can be. But the fact of the matter is, and we're doing the work. Look, $125 million mega grant came in because we were working with the president, working with the White House, working with our congressional
You still need
delegation.
more, though, right? You're going to get that?
We believe that there's still another bite of the apple that potentially could come based on what Senator Reid is telling us. But we're going to find as many options we can to bring those dollars in. So To answer your question, yes. Is it frustrating for the people that
lot
have
of
to deal with
bureaucracy.
it? The bureaucracy is slow, and the procurement process is one that's set up to protect the taxpayers. In the end, we'll get it done in a way that'll be the quickest but the safest way possible. And we're bringing in all the resources we possibly can so that we're very confident that the taxpayers are not going to have to bear the brunt of any tax increases because of the bridge.
All right. I want to get to Hasbro quickly. Big company, reportedly looking out to go to Massachusetts possibly. You've met with the CEO. You've met with them. Did they tell you what they don't like about this area and what you can do to keep them?
I think they were on the record years ago before the COVID. I actually have had conversations with Secretary Raimondo about this very issue. She actually stepped in and helped with the mega grant, so we're appreciative of that. They have ideas of what they're looking to step into a new space, wherever that might be. We think it should be either in Pawtucket, give certainly if we could find a place in Pawtucket.
Or somewhere else.
Or in the state.
Right. There's plenty of land.
So we're all in on it. That's why I had the speaker at the meeting.
Right.
I informed the Senate
Did you get
President.
a good feeling?
I did, because what we asked for was time.
Right.
And even though we're on a short leash here in terms of time, we're going to be able to meet that. And we've already started to meet with key players, people who are, could play an influence on the decision that's made with the CEO.
All right.
And so those meetings are going to be continuous until we provide a plan. And we're determined that plan is going to work. The Speaker, myself, the Senate President are determined to make it happen.
They're giving me a wrap, Governor. We missed you at Rhode Island Day up at Big E, but
I
ate enough for you and me.
Yes, I enjoyed the segment. I particularly like when you were coming down the slide.
Thank you very much. Governor, thanks so much. I certainly appreciate it. Emily?
Yeah.